are expecting very much the visit of the President of the United States to Israel. I'm reading your papers, and they say that America is declining. I'm afraid that other governments in the world are declining. When I compare the American administration with any other administration, it is still the most organized, the most meaningful, the most governing democracy in our time. Not without flaws. Who can afford it to be government without flaws? It's unnatural. But I'm looking at the Middle East, you know. There's not really any government that you can say is governing. There is hardly a government in Libya. There is hardly a government in Yemen. And I don't know what's going to happen. The United States has to manage an ungovernable world more than ever before. I can't think of a more important link, relations for Israel, that are relations with the United States of America. And with all the difficulties, it's still, for us as Jewish people and for us as a Jewish state, this is the most important link and connection and identification that we have. And we expect very much the visit of the President. He was just elected. And by the way, all over the world, I mean, a young generation in the most three important powers took leadership. Obama is 51 years old. He was already 4 years a president. So he started at the age of 47, an age that I recommend to keep if you can. And then Putin is 60 years old, but he's already 14 years a president. He started at the age of 46. And Xi, the leader of China, is 58 years old. He's already 8 years in the Politburo, 50 years. I had some long talks with Putin. I told him, look, I'm 90 years old. You're 60 years old. What are you going to do in the next 30 years, tell me? You want to fight with the United States? What for? Does America want a piece of Russia? He says no. Does Russia want a piece of America? No. Don't you know the world is hungry? Yes. Now what do you want? To bring in all these skirmishes of the Middle East in the relations between you and the United States? What for? Or do you going to bring the differences between the United States to the Middle East because you are afraid that the Middle East is short of problems? What for? Then I told him that I think that President Obama did not change America, but they changed America, elected President Obama. And America has had the courage to change in a changed world. To understand that democracy is not only an attempt to introduce more fairness and more equality among people, but also an assembly of differences. Differences in religion, in ethnicity, in origin. And the fact that you are a different person shouldn't make you a stranger. And clearly it shouldn't make you hostile or an enemy. America has had the historic wisdom maybe the only one in history, that understood that enemies are more expensive than friends. Once you have an enemy, you have to pay for it for the rest of your life. You don't know how to get rid of him. And the friendship is really like preventive medicine. It's better to be healthy and friendly than hostile and sick. And traditionally, America does it. America is a revolt. Actually, America is a daughter of Europe. And they were able to collect different Europeans and people who came later on or before it from Africa and Asia and organize an assembly of people who have a constitution, who believe in the happiness of a man, who can stand differences. So much so that Europe, who is maybe the mother of America, is trying to copy the daughter without success. The daughter introduced the Union. The United Europe didn't yet become a united mother. Maybe because also the weight of history in Europe is heavier than the weight of history in America, which is shorter, and it is not so heavy. So America has more time for the future. In America, if you ask somebody if he's from France, yes, or the parents, or from England, yes, but he's an American. So he belongs to the same, say, assembly of people that look for a different world. But if you'll ask me, will France and England unite like they are children in America, I'm very much in doubt. There's no chance, because the weight of history in France and in England has such an impact upon the future that they found it extremely difficult to do so. Anyway, I think it's part of the greatness of the United States that a man like Obama was elected. I told Putin that I think he's a real and great leader, and a man who is basically progressive. Even those who criticize him cannot say that he lacks a tendency to make progress, whatever it may be. And to my great surprise, Putin says that he met him and he feels the same way. I told Putin at the beginning, I'm not a spy, so I'm not coming here to collect secrets. If I can transmit his feelings, he said, yes, you can refer to it. Anyway, looking all over the world, the United States, with all her problems, with the deficits and changes, is still a country that cares for others more than any other nation cares for anybody else.